I'm going to talk about, one of our favorite shows, Sleepy Hollow.
Love that show.
Yeah, really good episode.
Was
Really
very
good
good.
episode. All right, so let's take a look at the screen over
All right,
here and
here we go.
start going through some of the things that we saw on this episode. So this was a sequence I called Waking Up. The end of the last episode, we see, their son, played by John Noble, kills or destroys Moloch. In fact, when this opens up, we can see Moloch's head, which is really cool. Just his head in a pile of ash sitting on the ground. And they wake up by the four trees where Jenny and Abby, first witnessed Moloch. And they're all disoriented. There's sort of, Ichabod finds Abby, and they're making sure everybody's okay. They're trying to figure out and piece together exactly what happened. They're really in shock and disbelief that their son actually did this. And of course, Ichabod comes over to Katrina. Which, by the way, I want to talk about this right here. This. Well, actually, what I really want to talk about is this. What the hell? This corset has got to go. I mean, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Look at this. Look at this nonsense. What is going on here? That is ridiculous.
You would kind of think that she'd be like, great, women don't have to wear this anymore.
No shit, right? Like,
Take it right
take it off. Why does she, of all the things she could be holding on to from her period dress, why this?
Yeah, I would not keep the corset.
I can't take it. It really, when you see her in, if we look at the image on the top left here, when you see her in that, let me see if I can fast forward to it. Here we go. When you see her right here, okay, it's not that bad when it's on the side, but when it's behind her, I just can't deal with it. It moves funny. It's weird. I don't know. I just want to see them get rid of that. I want that costume piece to change, or at least become less extreme, right? I feel like she had to have a few ribs removed for that too. I don't know. I'm not into it.
Not comfortable.
Not into it.
I'm sure the actress is not too happy about it.
Maybe she is. Maybe it's her sort of like talisman of.
She's probably like, kill my character off already.
So I can
Like,
send me back to purgatory. I didn't have to. You know what? I'm out of purgatory, but this corset is purgatory. It's terrible. Yeah, I'm not into that. All right, so we're gonna do? We're gonna analyze a feature here of these shows that I think are probably my favorite things about them, and that is what I'm gonna call the anachronistic moment. And it's always, they do this on the show every single time, where Ichabod has some kind of like time issue, right? He's an anachronism, okay? He is out of time, out of place. This is not, where he's used to being, and he's always making these comments or struggling with something of the modern world, right? And this time it was organic produce, okay? And he made a joke about this, right? He was like, isn't produce by definition organic? Right? And so he starts off with that whole thing, going off on that. And then Abby starts telling him about weird hybrid fruit. And she mentions this thing called a grapple. Have you ever heard of a grapple?
No. I would, to me, when I hear grapple, I think of grappling hooks. But maybe because that's me? I don't know. I've never heard of a grapple.
All right. I want to look to see if we can find a grapple. All right. Hence we're broadcasting right now.
You know what I could pretend that I don't know that we're broadcasting and tell all of your secrets.
All
And
right.
secretly wants to wear the corset. That's why he doesn't like it.
Oh, it's not true. Don't listen to her. She doesn't know what she's talking about. All right. Let's see if I can try this again and not mess it up.
It would show your hips a little bit better.
What? No, what would show my hips better is like not being a fatty. That was
Hey, I hear corsets help that.
do they?
Yes, indeed. Jessica Alba wears a corset.
Add screen capture. There. Now it didn't crap out on me.
Yay!
All right. All of this so that I can see. Oh, we don't need to see you, I guess. There we go. All of this so that I can see what a grapple is. Grapple. Fruit. There it is. Images for grapple fruit.
Well, it's actually not even just a grapple.
What's a banapple? Ew! What is a banapple? It looks like freaking penis enlargement gone wrong. Like horribly wrong. Oh my goodness. Oh, what is this?
I was going to say that looks like a bunch of sausages.
This is like a Martian strawberry. There's a pear apple. A papple? What is a papple? Is a papple a peach?
I don't even want to know what these things are.
I know. This is crazy. Ew. Okay, that's fake. Never mind.
Who knows how the filters are set up? We could see terrible things.
Ooh,
here.
what is this? This is like calamari fruit.
If we
It's
see something
squid
called
fruit.
a pineapple, let's not show it.
Pineapple. Don't show the pineapple. Oh my goodness. So yeah, look at all these things. These are weird. All these hybrid fruits here. Very strange. Well, there's a grapple. There's a grapple. It's a grape and an apple.
So I can understand why this
put
is
together.
odd to Ichabod, because it's odd to me.
Yeah, it's very odd to me too. It's very strange. All right, let's go back to our Sleepy Hollow scene right here. Oh God, the banapple is just wrong. All right, so so we have this now. While they're talking here on this episode about this, let me go to the previous one here. So they're walking around, and one thing that they're noticing is Ichabod sees some fruit that's spoiled. He cuts it open. There's all these maggots and things inside of it, and then he starts to very manically interrogate the produce woman with wielding a knife and stuff like that. So he's, while they're doing this scene, they're talking a little bit about kind of like it's over. This is 6 weeks after they wake up, by the way.
Right.
And so they're like, it's over. We're done. We got to move on. Nothing's really happened. And so, and Ichabod's like, no, look, there's rotten fruit. This is witches. It's witches. This is what witches means, rotten fruit. Grapples are the work of the devil.
Well, I wonder what they did for those 6 weeks.
Well, they say that later.
Okay, maybe I missed
Yeah,
that.
actually, we'll go on to this next thing. So Ichabod's really holding on here, right? He's got all these chalkboards and, freaking investigations going on. And Abby is kind of like, oh my God, he just won't let go. And so this whole scene, they're talking about how Ichabod is unable to let go.
She's kind of doing bitch please.
Yeah, bitch, please. You are getting on my last nerve with this conspiracy magic shit. And I agree. So they start talking, and Ichabod's living here now because he and Katrina are kind of on the outs, right? He's jealous of Abraham. This dude is jealous of the Headless Horseman. What does that say? Right?
Headless Horseman has a big axe.
Ooh, what do you... Is he headless everywhere, or what? But
Apparently not.
That wouldn't make me jealous. If I had two heads and this guy had none, I would not be jealous. Anyway, so they're talking, and like Abby's saying that, Ichabod, you're unable to let go of all this. You're looking for these things and it's not there. And he even says later that maybe it's true. I've been wandering the woods for 6 weeks with a shotgun looking for random things, demons to jump out at me, and they never really happen. So they're sort of counseling each other here. But Ichabod finds a lead. He finds something that they should go investigate. And so they run off into the woods, and they're searching for stuff. And then they hear this chanting. They hear this weird chanting, and they go and investigate at this. It's not quite that level of chanting, but they go and investigate, and they look and they find some weird skull that's hanging there with the sign of the devil on top of it, and they're shocked to see that. And all of a sudden, Abby comes to the realization of like, okay, maybe you're not so crazy. Maybe you're not holding on because you're a man out of time and this was your mission and your purpose and it's no more. There's some shit going down here. So they come across these weird dudes and they're demons. And dude, do you love this freaking Sam Raimi moment with like the arrow? This is like straight out of Evil Dead. Or sorry, Army of Darkness. Remember that? When the guy grabs the crossbow and shoots it and they go down the arrow.
And they're kind of Sith-like too.
Like Darth Maul.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. They're very Darth Maul.
And they're dark, really cool looking. I was like, I felt like in that moment, it was like, oh, I'm having a Star Wars / Buffy moment. I thought they did a really good job with those characters.
It was very Buffy too here, that's for sure. So yeah, they interrupt this weird thing, and the demons are pretty cool looking. There are 3 of them. Look at me, the demon's 3. And they try and shoot him with bullets, and they dodge it. They try and shoot him with an arrow, and they dodge it. And here they are right here. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes Joe Pro where am I here? Why is that? There you go. An angel shows up out of nowhere. Just this weird swoosh in the sky. Let me back up.
And I don't know about you, but when he came in, I'm like, this is not going to be good.
Yeah, they're like, this is not going to be good in a lot of ways, right? Like the flying and like in a lot of ways. I loved how this angel, he shows up and he kills a bunch of dudes with this weird Xena chakra weapon. But when he catches it over his head, it's glowing and it's his halo.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty neat how he used a halo. They used a halo as a weapon like that. I thought that was pretty creative.
I liked it.
We've seen some different angel stuff. In fact, you and I talked about doing a different, like a special episode of Spyt-Takes, right?
Yeah.
Talking about our favorite angels from various movies and TV shows. And so we'll talk about this guy. So this guy shows up. He claims to be an angel. Well, he doesn't, just claim it. He's a freaking angel. He's got wings on his seat, on his back and everything like that. They do a pretty good job with this scene. It's not the best angel stuff I've seen. The best angel stuff I've seen lately is on Constantine. Freaking cool. And of course, Supernatural. But we'll talk about that on another show. We don't want to spoil it. So he comes in. He uses his freaking Xena warrior princess angel halo action. Kills the demon. The other 2 jump into the fire. They're like, we're freaking out of here. And he introduces himself. And he says, I'm Orion. And I was like, what? Orion? And I hated it. Ellen, this angel made me feel like a total douchebag, by the way. A total dick. Do you know why?
Why?
So I was like, Orion, that is the stupidest name for an angel ever. Stupid. It's a freaking constellation, right? And it was Orion the Hunter. Constellation, like wields a club, it's not an angel up there in the constellations. I was like, why would they name it Orion? It's not an Enochian name, right? Enochian means language of the angels. So stupid. Stupid. Dumb. Then I start following Sleepy Hollow on Twitter. And like the director like tweets out, this is my son Orion and I named the angel after him. And I was like, oh my God, I feel like a dick. Because that was a really nice thing to do. You know, like, oh, that's really, because we do that in our game. We name characters after people all the time.
Yes, we do.
And it's a nice little tribute to do to somebody, show them how much you care about them, kind of like immortalize them in the game or in your show. And
everyone should be thankful that his son was named Bert.
I am Bert, the avenging angel.
At least his kid's got a cool name of Orion. Orion's a pretty cool name.
So I felt like a douchebag after that. I really did. I really felt like, oh, I could have not been such a dick. Twitter can do that to you. You just sort of react in the moment and then you don't realize. Man. Yep. See,
there's thought behind names.
Duncan says it's a fact. Spytle is a dick. I guess I am. All right. So anyway, we.
Look,
be gone.
Wait, that's my halo.
Oh, it's your halo?
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah, I got rid of it.
Sad. I'm sad.
So I felt like a big douche after that because of that angel name Orion. So Orion comes back. Orion has apparently been in purgatory, like trapped there. And we discovered that when Moloch was killed, there was a great disturbance in purgatory. Or actually, they don't say killed; they say destroyed.
So every time I see that screenshot now of Orion, I'm like, Xena,
Yeah, sorry.
You've ruined it for me.
I didn't mean to ruin it for you. But it is. It is like Xena's freaking mom. Go away, ghost. Ghost haunting Ellen. So, yeah. Tough one. And I'm ruined by the name,
Xena.
too, now. Xena. Warrior princess. Warrior angel.
Hey, look at Xena. Orion.
So, Orion has been in purgatory, and we learn that Moloch's destruction, they don't say killed, they say destroyed, caused this great disturbance, and a bunch of things escaped purgatory, including him. And in fact, he was slain in the same battle where Ichabod and the horsemen killed each other and linked their blood together. He was slain by the horsemen and sent to purgatory because he was killed by the horsemen. And the horseman of death, headless horseman. And so he's been there this whole time. He's coming back. He's looking for revenge.
So at that point, did you feel like, oh, this guy's going to be bad news? When he's like, I escaped from purgatory. Because I'm like, oh, you've been in purgatory?
Right.
Most likely not for a good reason.
Yeah. Bad.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm thinking this guy I'm already like 75% there that he's a bad dude at that point.
I kind of wasn't there. And you know what I should have been? Because, like, we just watched Constantine, and Constantine, the fallen angel's wings were white, and then they turned black, and he had black wings. But then again, on not Dominion the show, but the movie, remember? And Michael came down, he had black wings too. And then Gabriel came down, and he had black wings too. So they're both the good and the bad and the angel. I didn't make the connection, to be honest with you.
He was all like Johnny Cash to me. He's all like dark. I thought maybe he's going to be like the emo angel.
Oh, he had a ring of fire too. Down, 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 my ring of fire.
So
my ring of
I'm
fire.
already like, he's not going to be good.
You were right. He was not a good angel. But we'll get to that. So let's go and talk about now. Meanwhile, what is going on? The Headless Horseman is trapped. And so we know that this guy, he wants to kill the horseman. The Headless Horseman is trapped. And this sort of sets off some key things. I actually got to say, I loved Katrina in this whole scene. She's casting a spell to keep the horseman in. And the whole thing with her spell is really cool. She has this water. She dips her finger in it, and it's glowing. She starts doing these runes on the door and casting these spells. It was very well done. I thought that was super cool. And she starts talking to the horseman and realizing that she spent a lot of time with Abraham. And when she's around the Headless Horseman, you can see him for what he is, which is Ichabod and her old friend Abraham.
And you know what they have in common?
What?
The two?
Like binding waists?
Binding waists, and that is his corset of shame.
Yeah, it's his corset of shame. His is worse. His isn't as pinching, but it looks a little heavier, I gotta say.
It looks actually more comfortable than hers.
Than hers, yeah. It's roomier. It's definitely roomier.
It's a man corset.
So she's sympathetic to Abraham. You can see it this whole time as she's sort of working these spells and talking to him, and you realize she's very sympathetic. So you can see a conflict coming. And meanwhile, Abby and Ichabod want to track these demons down. So we go and we talk to Jenny. She puts Jenny on the trail of that. And Riley is there. And actually, this was a really funny moment too. Can you hand me that pad of paper? Because I actually wrote this down, and I want to remember what the heck this thing was called. So she calls this, let's see here. Oh, this is all the Gotham stuff. Hold on. She calls this thing.
Oh, yeah, you've got a piece of fuzz on your finger.
No, don't shock me again.
You really do.
I don't want to shock my eyeball. Okay. This thing is called something. Where is it? Yeah, and by the way,
it's the Egg of Runes.
Yeah. So Horseman's captured. Katrina has feelings for him, and this, by the way, sets up this whole. This is like the Empire Strikes Back of Sleepy Hollow episodes, right? This is like the Darth Vader Luke moment. Like, I know there's still good in you, right? They're starting to set that up with Abraham, the Headless Horseman, the Horseman of the Apocalypse, Death, that we can convert him back. There's some way to convert him back.
She doesn't give up on people.
Total Darth Vader Luke Skywalker moment right there. Only not father-son, like former lover thing, which would be weird for Luke and Darth. Let's not make that parallel. That's a bad parallel. Okay. They actually go so Orion comes back, and then now Hallie is there, and they have this thing, the rock. Jenny calls it the Rock of Haggis. Do you have the Rock of Haggis? That's what this thing is. He's like, it's not the Rock of Haggis. It is the egg of Osog. That's what he calls
meow.
It. Yeah. Oh yeah, from Thor. Meow meow. So yeah, the Rock of Haggis is what this thing is called, but it's actually that's what Jenny calls it, but it's actually the egg of Osog, which is a Sumerian rock demon who was so ugly that he had to do it with a mountain. Like the only thing that would let him put his little banapple inside of it was a lifeless piece of rock.
His pineapple.
His pineapple, yes, his pineapple. So his rocky pineapple went into the mountain, and he had little rock babies. And this little egg thing apparently is how he would track down his children, right? So they have it, and they have to figure out how to use it. So later they actually do, like Haley smashes it open, and he sees this little egg thingy inside, and he sees the demons. And so they're able to track him down. And meanwhile, Abby is bringing Orion back to the prison. What?
Harry Potter moment.
Well, how is it a Harry Potter moment? What's Harry Potter about it?
Right there.
Oh, is it the freaking? It's the what's the thing? The snitch. He's got a snitch.
Look how jolly and happy he is.
He's like, I got the snitch. I won.
He's like, it's so shiny.
50 points, Gryffindor. It does look like a little Harry Potter. Let's draw a little lightning bolt on his. Here, hold on. Let's see if I actually might be able to do that. Risking.
Oh no!
Risking
here it comes.
again. Oh, right click to view instructions. Lightning bolt. I messed it up. Hold on. Let's put the lightning bolt on his head. I got it.
That is amazing graphic skills you have there.
I missed it. I kind of put it. That's a terrible scar. I didn't expect it to actually work. Here we go. Harry Potter!
I've got the snitch.
I've got the golden snitch. Okay, let's get rid of the whiteboard. We don't need the whiteboard here. Let's see if I can remove it. Yes, I safely removed it without screwing it up. Okay, anyway, so they see where the horseman is, and meanwhile, Abby's bringing Orion to kill the horseman. She just wants the horseman dead. She's not up on the whole fact that Ichabod and Katrina have feelings, or maybe have reached him, and Katrina has feelings for him, doesn't want to kill him.
Do you blame her?
Yeah, he's a freaking necrotic, headless horseman of the apocalypse. Yeah, I blame her.
No, I'm talking about Abby for wanting to kill his ass.
Oh, no, I don't blame her at all.
Katrina sometimes.
Katrina, what the fuck is wrong with her?
Her corset is
too tight. Her corset is cutting off blood to her brain. She's making irrational, terrible decisions.
She's like the girl or the woman that likes the abusive friends.
Okay.
And never gives up.
And just keeps going back for more.
Keeps going back, and you're like,
trying to rescue them.
They're not good.
Yeah. So meanwhile, all of these guys, they talk. We realize all these people have different agendas. Ichabod doesn't trust Orion. Katrina wants to save the horseman. She frees the horseman. All of a sudden, he's out. And I got to say, when Katrina is around the headless horseman, it turns into Abraham. And it's just not as cool as the actual headless horseman. Like, there's nothing more badass in the show when the headless horseman starts walking and tromping around, because he's like, it's like he weighs a ton. Each footstep is like this huge thundering footstep.
Best headless horseman ever.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
From any movie, anything animated I've ever seen as a kid.
Awesome.
I mean, usually when you have the headless horseman, you're like, whatever. Even Tim Burton's, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's
not this. This is cool.
He's a horse with a man without a head. I'm doing my. We'll talk about that angel on our angel show, but yeah.
So anyway, yeah. Sorry, I totally derailed.
And a horseman rides a shotgun. Has a shotgun. I'm doing a terrible Christopher Walken impression.
Yeah, I don't even.
It's not
that
good.
Doesn't sound like him.
It's the way you're talking to me. It's your tone. That's better, right?
No.
Come on.
It's awful. Usually you do good walking, but
I know.
Not
I don't know what's wrong with me right now.
But anyway,
I a lot of pressure.
That's. I remember the first time I saw this character, I was like, I love this show, and the Headless Horseman made it for me.
Yeah. It's
anyway.
good. It's good.
Good character.
All right, so meanwhile, all of a sudden we're back to the demons, and they're over this really cool cauldron. They like cut open their hands, and they're dripping blood into here, and they're looking for their master and drawing their own blood, and
because that's what you do when you need to make a phone call.
Definitely what you do.
To anything supernatural or evil. You get a bowl.
Well, I'm doing spoilers here.
You throw in some dry ice. You cut your hand a little bit, maybe just a drop of blood, and you're dialing somebody.
So they see the horseman show up, and I love this part because the horseman needed his axe, and he just grabs a bunch of scrap metal and just basically throws it into this pile and reforges his axe. Okay, but now, he's attacked by Orion. They fight. He gets nailed by the chakram of Xena in his back. But Ichabod pulls it out, uses the horseman's axe to destroy it. Orion is pissed. There's a big, huge explosion. Orion, we find out, is actually freaking evil. He wants...
Surprise!
Yeah. Ellen called it. She called it out of the gate. Of course he's evil. He was in purgatory and he's got black wings. He's bad. And so we learn that he actually has been present at so many disasters that have befallen the world. And he has broken ranks with the other angels. And he wants to basically cleanse mankind and
Big
Earth.
Axe.
Yep, Big Axe. You know what to say about Big Axe. And so there's a big fight here, and the horseman actually gets his axe back, and Ichabod and Abby side with the horseman of death, and they eventually drive Orion off because his weapon is destroyed. So we don't know if we're going to see him again or not. But what we do know is that Katrina convinces Ichabod and Abby to spare his life. Okay. And that while they are trying to cure Abraham and remove the part of him that is the horseman of death, that he won't kill anybody. And the cliffhanger is that Orlando Bloom's character is back, the guy that was killed by the horseman of death, the former captain, escaped the insane asylum. He's back.
I like that actor a lot.
He's good.
Yeah.
Remember him in that Evolution movie?
Yeah.
It's horrible up here! He was in the farty sphincter.
Which is sad because every time I see him in a movie,
I
totally think of that scene
him, like,
every
stuck
time.
Up into the giant alien rectum. Just, it's horrible up here! That's terrible.
And he's a good actor. I'm glad he's got that role.
Yeah.
And I'm happy.
I'm happy for him too. And he's back, which makes you wonder a couple of things. Like, so basically purgatory, a couple of things could be going on with that. Here are my theories. One, he's just another escapee from purgatory when Moloch was killed.
Right.
Okay. Two, because he was killed by the horseman of death and was enlisted into Moloch's army with the special pen where he signed his name in blood, that he is now the horseman of death. He has somehow taken on that mantle and he doesn't know it yet.
Right. So we may see him turn.
We may see him turn.
And we don't know what's going to turn him. What's going to break the guy.
I hope Abraham doesn't turn, though. I mean, I don't care how old it gets. I don't ever want to have the show without the Headless Horseman in it. And that Headless Horseman, because he's badass in his, like, Revolutionary War gear.
Yeah. Oh, and I love the actor who's playing that role as well. I think he does a great
Which
job.
actor? The one who clomps around without a head, or the one who actually does Abraham? Because they're actually two different
actually
people.
One that does Abraham.
Okay.
I think he does a great job.
He does a good job.
The show does a really good job with casting. I've really enjoyed it so far.
I agree. And I do like all the anachronistic commentary that Ichabod makes as well. That's been very cool.
You know what's been really good about that show for me is that usually when a new show is starting out, usually take a few episodes, sometimes 6, sometimes a full year to really for them to kind of grok what they're doing and to get it together and to have something strong. And I remember watching the first episode and being like, they should renew this. It's going to be fantastic. And they kept it up. So that's why I enjoy watching that show. I never feel like they're going to get into a lull because I don't feel like they have so far.
Yeah, they've kept it going really well. I think they've done a really good job on the show. I don't think I've been bored in many episodes in this.
Very entertaining.
Very entertaining. And hard to do too, I think, with this kind of subject matter that they're doing. They're navigating the waters really well. Runaway agrees with Ellen.
Sweet.
Yes, you've got your first acolyte on the show. Good job.
Somebody's agreeing with me. This one never does.
This one, I've been relegated to it. This one.
No.
Wow. All right. Oh, I almost tweeted out talking about Gotham right now on Spyt-Takes.
I like that.
Yeah, Spyt-Takes. There we go. Spyt-Takes. All right, here we go. So, what does that mean? Oh my goodness, that means we're going to be talking about Gotham. Go away, horrible spirit haunting Ellen.
Oh, it's gone.
There we go.
Your powers work.